the most important thing is picking it up in the beginning and keep picking it up and always picking it up and never stop picking it up. Like, that's the most important thing.
What's the best electric guitar for beginners?
As a beginner guitarist, you don't know what you don't know. Actually, as an advanced guitarist, you don't know what you don't know, right? We always don't know what we don't know. But in the beginning, you don't really know anything about playing guitar. You have to learn everything for the very first time. So we need to think about what if you stop playing, then you're not going to keep playing. I know that sounds too simple, but if something is in your way or causing a roadblock or frustration, etc., chances are you're going to put the guitar down and you're not going to keep playing it. In fact, there's a study by Fender in 2021, I think. It was either 2020 or 2021, where they found that within the first 12 months of a beginning guitar player buying their first guitar and playing for the very first time, they found that within 12 months, 9 out of 10 of those guitar players quit. Now, I bring that up because clearly there's a lot of roadblocks in the way to get started playing guitar and actually start playing it in a way that's fun, right? That you start to make music with it, etc. So the reason I bring that up is because I think the most important thing to consider is what is going to keep you playing. What is going to allow you to start playing easily and get you to want to keep playing. So with those things in mind, we don't need to talk about necessarily brands or anything like that. In the beginning, it really doesn't matter at all what brand of guitar you play. In fact, I had a red acoustic, it was called a checkmate guitar. And I got it from my uncle. My uncle passed and it was under his bed, and it was a long story, but I got that guitar and I played it for years and I really liked it. I could play blues really well on it. And I looked it up on eBay one day and it was literally like $3.40. It was a $3 guitar. So it really doesn't matter in the beginning, how much the guitar costs. In general, obviously the higher, just like anything, if you buy a more expensive car, the parts are going to be more quality, etc. But in the beginning, all you really care about is getting something decent enough that's easy and fun to play. What makes it easy and fun to play? In my opinion, I think it's important to have something that you like to look at. Like if you look at your guitar and it makes you excited, well, it's going to make you want to pick it up, right? And if we remember, the most important thing is picking it up in the beginning and keep picking it up and always picking it up and never stop picking it up. Like, that's the most important thing. So if you get something that you like, maybe people hate this guitar. I think it's pretty cool. It makes me want to touch it, makes me want to play it. Um, I think that's the most important thing, or one of the most important things in the beginning. So if you go to a guitar shop or if you're looking online or something, find something that you think looks cool, right? Second, you want to, if we're talking about electric guitars, you want to find something that is physically easy to play. So the neck size, can you wrap your hand around it? Does it feel reasonably comfortable to you? Or is it just huge? Like, some necks are just huge. It just feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable, and you can't really ever get used to it. Even it doesn't matter how many years you play. Some guitars you never get used to. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there are some necks that are super super thin, which also you can't really ever get used to. It gives you cramps in your hand, things like that. So that's something to consider. If you go into a guitar store or something, you can ask somebody what might be a medium neck size. Somewhere in the middle will probably be good for most people. Also, I would say the what's called the action. So the height of the strings above the fretboard. If I look at the guitar like this, how high are the strings off the fretboard? And also, how bowed is the neck? And the most people don't realize in the beginning, at least, that your neck is supposed to have a little bit of a bow to it. It's called relief. You can take your guitar to a luthier or to just a shop, guitar shop or something, and somebody will what's called setting up your guitar. They'll set up your guitar for you to make it easier to play, and they will put that perfect amount of relief in there that you need. And your action, meaning the height of the strings off the fretboard, if that's too high, you're not going to want to play because your fingers need to get used to pressing down the strings. And if it's too high, it's going to be too hard, too frustrating. It's going to be painful. You're going to want to put the guitar down. So you want something with a pretty low action um, that's easy to press the strings down, but not too low because it will be buzzy and you won't be able to have a good sound. And then I would also say if you take your guitar somewhere to have somebody change the strings or get it set up, I would recommend starting with 9 gauge strings or even 8 gauge strings. In fact, I play 8 gauge strings and my dad actually plays 7 gauge strings now. And just because in my experience, once you start playing it and you get used to how light the touch is, you just don't want to ever go back. You have so much more control over the strings. Whereas I used to be the opposite. I used to try to play 13s on my electric guitar, which some people would call, a telephone pole string. Really hard to bend, really hard to press down, etc. And over the years, I've gone down in gauge, so the strings are just so easy to press, and that just makes it so much more enjoyable to play. Now, the third main big thing is the sound. Do you like the sound of the guitar? Does it sound inspiring to you? Even if you can't play anything yet, can you strum it? Does it just, the sound of the guitar, does it just, vibrate against your body? Does it make you want to pick it up? Does it make you want to explore the fretboard? If so, probably a good choice. So that's it. I think that's what I would say are the 3 or 4 most important things for a beginning electric guitar.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I think mine was a Yamaha electric that was used, and it was already in bad shape. But it worked. It looked like a Strat, like it was like a Strat style, and I don't know, it just worked. And before I knew it, I wore out the frets completely, and I was like, well, I got to figure out another solution now. But yeah, just, I don't know, somewhere is the goal. And then I think you learn the lessons from people like Jonathan here as far as string gauge. I didn't start getting into nines until probably 4 years ago, John. And yeah, I can't go back. I had a guitar shipped to me with nines after I requested tens on accident. So I just pulled it out and started playing. And I was like, all of them got to change. I got to change them all to nines. This is so much easier. Again, though, like we recommend with the strings, just try it. I'd start with the nines. If you're like, I feel like I could go heavier gauge, it's not a crazy thing to change them and get it reset up and try a different gauge string. It's something you should do to feel comfortable, for sure. Hey there, and thanks for watching that video. That's just one of our shorter clips from the longer Q&A sessions we do a ton here at Breakthrough Guitar. And if you're interested in seeing those and seeing everything that we have here, I highly recommend you click the button right there and subscribe. Also, speaking of the other videos we do, feel free to click right over there to start digging into those and advancing your guitar playing. We look forward to it, and we will see you next time.